Lake Ozark just had a huge update, and this is everything in it. But first, keep in mind this video came out a month after the actual update released, so don't be shocked if something is changed or removed. And with that said, there's a lot to talk about in this new update, and the first and most important is the brand new Now, my opinion on the new boats is pretty mixed. I mean, some are really good, but others are kinda good, but have problems. But this isn't a rant, I'm just here to tell you what's new. So from worst to best, here's every new boat in Lake Ozark. Okay, this one is messy. So the first thing about this boat is that it has a lot of features, which I will show later. But from the atrocious engine sounds to the rushed interior, this boat is a mess. But other than that, it rides pretty good. It tops out at around 30 miles an hour, and it's pretty stable until you spawn it. But what about the features? Well, the features include opening doors and a slidable headrest, which is pretty broken. But that's all for this mess, so that brings us to the next one on our list, which is the... Now, unlike the last one, this boat is absolute perfection. From the audio to the handling, it's a work of art. And with it generating about 311 credits per tick, and it having a pretty good interior, it's pretty much a perfect starter boat. It's a little pricey, but it can rival the Attacker when it comes to detail. With all of that said, it is now time to move on to the... Now, this one's a little funny because it's basically just the other Marine Mariner, but without the windshield or center console. I mean, it still does have a steering wheel in the center, but yeah, same engine, pretty much same hull design, just without the rails there. But yeah, not really much to say about this one. Just buy the Marine Mariner, it has more features. But I'd really like something to be done with this really soon, because it's pretty much a rip-off. However, if you're looking for one to get right after the starter boat, this would probably be the one. Anyways, with that out of the way, we can go ahead and move on to the next one, which is the... Okay, there are two main flaws with this one. The first one being it looks like they rendered it in Minecraft and then imported it into Lake Ozark, but it's very low poly, basically. That combined with the very arcade-like mechanics and handling, I mean, look at it. It feels like Mario Kart to drive. And out of all the new boats, this one is probably my least favorite just because of these issues. But besides that, it does top out at 45 miles an hour and does look kind of cool. I mean, there's no engine. I think it's electric, so that's a plus. But with all that said, this brings us to our final and last boat, which is the... Out of all the boats, this one is probably the cleanest, with its wake boat appearance, and there is some water in the bottom, but that's just in the selection menu. But overall, it's a fairly average boat. If I could compare it to anything, I'd probably compare it to the Zumba, but other than that, the interior is okay, and kind of gives a 90s look, but other than that, it's fairly decent. It handles pretty well, and the engine sounds are pretty bad, but I think they'll be updated soon. And that's pretty much all I have to say for this one. So, moving on to our next category. Oh, you thought I forgot about this one. No, it's still here, and I just forgot about it earlier. Now, this being the new most expensive boat in the game, and the new fastest boat in the game, the RCB kids can finally be dethroned. The handling is a little bit whack, but other than that, It is a great boat with a pretty good model. I'm not sure how anybody is supposed to fit in this cockpit, but I guess it works somehow. However, that's pretty much all for this one, and yeah, that concludes our boats for this update. And now moving on to our boats aren't the only thing we got in the new update. We also got some small features like audio updates, new areas, and how about we just go over the ones we have? Starting off with our audio updates, we got new updated audios for the engines for the Demons and Neptunes. So that's a pretty cool update, and if you're wondering, here's what they sound like. Here's the Neptune. And here's the Demon. Yeah, they sound pretty cool. This also goes for the Jettison, since it also has a 300 Neptune on it. And our next subject of small features is the updated places, which include the parking lot, sandbar, and some new updates to the trees. Or these might be old, I can't really tell. So that's about it for our brand new features, boats, and small details in the new Lake Ozark update. And I'm pretty pleased with this update. Some things are not my favorite, but I honestly can't wait to see where this goes in the future, and hopefully by making this, it will bring more people into the game. So I hope y'all found this video helpful in any way, but yeah, I will see y'all in the next one, and peace.